think you've got my number figured out. A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Saturday nights, just about 9:30 at Jay's Geek House. And we're here to just have a nice little discussion before I head back to ESO. What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay, and ESO is going to be a major focus of everything that I do for the next week or two. Because we have this event going on, the Heroes Reforged event with the new champion point system. So basically, the way the game is played has been revamped and progression has been opened back up for people with max level characters. So if you want to do any game streaming of ESO, now is a very good time to do it. There's also been multiple drops events over on Twitch as well, which is one reason to stream. Even if you don't get any viewers on Twitch, you can farm your own stream for drops technically. So it's just one of those things where, look, I want to explain for the people that will not give my gaming videos or gaming streams a chance. I play ESO because I played Morrowind a long time ago. And Morrowind was a game that I got so into, and I modded the living daylights out of it. You couldn't even tell that there was actually a game, an original game still under there somewhere. There were just so many mods. And the fun part has been playing Oblivion and Skyrim, and then seeing what started out as mods in Morrowind turn into standard features in succeeding games. So it was really cool to see all this pan out. Morrowind and Elder Scrolls have been part of who I am as a gamer for decades now. So Elder Scrolls Online was when it came out, it was a terrible WoW clone. Basically, it was World of Warcraft with Elder Scrolls, an Elder Scrolls Code of Pain over the top. You did have the Imperials, the Bretons. Well, the Imperials weren't originally playable. You had the Bretons, the High Elves. You had Cyrodiil. You had Tamriel. You had everything that was released at that, but it was just too much MMO, not enough Elder Scrolls, and the teams have taken things back in the other direction since ESO released. I got involved in the game about 5 years ago. Yes, time flies, folks. About 5 years ago with the One Tamriel patch, because the One Tamriel patch was that revolutionary patch that took this ESO MMO, the Elder Scrolls MMO, and turned it essentially into something similar to its offline counterparts. You could now travel everywhere in the world, not just your factions areas, and things were really opened up. And then, of course, ESO went in the direction it went in with its DLCs and expansion packs since then. The thing with ESO is it had a rotten launch and it had issues for years, but those issues are much better now. The problem is ZeniMax isn't really doing a good enough job publicizing how the game is good to play now, and it's better than it was even just a few years ago. So Elder Scrolls Online is basically one of those once you know type things. It's like shopping on Newegg back in the day. The logo used to be once you know you Newegg, because Newegg was was a small e-tailer compared to something like Amazon. And Newegg was one of those things where when you knew about Newegg, you shopped exclusively at Newegg because Newegg was so good at what it did, whether it was shipping, prices, customer service, things like that. I mean, in the 2000s, when I was first getting into building computers, a lot of e-tailers were basically, they raced into the industry during the dot-com bubble, and let's just say service was spotty. There were more than a few e-tailers selling computer parts leading up to and after the dot-com crash that had rotten records with the Better Business Bureau. And actually, the reason why I ever had an Audigy card was because a Sound Blaster Live card that I bought from an e-tailer back when I used Price Watch or some meta pricing thing to buy it, whatever was the lowest price. Didn't have any real loyalty to any e-tailers at the time. But one of the stores that almost ripped me off on a Sound Blaster Live card back in the 2000s went out of business a couple of years later. What do you know? When you don't provide good customer service, people don't keep buying from your store / online e-tailer, whatever. And so they're one of those infamous avoid like the plague or whatever things over on Better Business Bureau and other stuff like that. And they went out of business. So Newegg used to be this thing of once you know, you Newegg. It was one of those once you know type things. And I think that ESO is the same way. More people need to realize just what ESO's strengths are versus World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV. And that's one of the reasons why I've wanted to make videos about it and I wanted to stream it, and why it's been such a punch in the gut for these problems with gaming videos that I've had for over 10 years now to continue showing up. I've spent years, people. I've spent years trying to drive this message home that I'm a multimedia guy. I'm not Paul's Hardware. I'm not Jay's 2 cents. I'm not even Greenham Gaming, although I've parodied the guy. But even Greenham Gaming is closer to what I am than just haha latest umpteenth tech hardware review video. I was upset about things the other night. Last night. I was upset about things. It was interesting when YouTube didn't demonetize the stream, despite it being as edgy as it was. But as much as... No, I tried to end things on a happier note with a joke stream after I finished the complaint stream, which got a bunch of concurrence because I was complaining about stuff, and it looked like the perfect thing to schadenfreude me over. So hopefully I don't see the same thing happen tonight, but who knows. But it's just this thing where you don't want to feel like you're wasting your time on these platforms. And furthermore, if you've ever gotten anywhere on YouTube or even Twitch, you know what it's like to have everything turn against you like this. So I talk a lot about this diamond. The diamond of people and technology. Could probably add it as a source. I really wanted to search for it, but I believe I have it on my Instagram as well. It's the diamond of people and technology. Much of what happens on these online video platforms is due to some kind of combination of people and technology. Your problems are that as well. You're going to have problems with people. You're going to have problems with trolls, You have problems with people trying to false flag you. You're going to have problems with people re-uploading your content and then attaching spam links to it. You may even have to DMCA people. But at the same time, cold ones at the ready. At the very same time, there's also the technology as well. And I've seen a lot of YouTubers complaining about how they can't get any views anymore. But what's also interesting is I'm not the only YouTuber who's tried out Twitch streaming, but it tells me a lot about my audience that I've gotten the lack of results that I've gotten trying to do streaming on Twitch. Been streaming, let's see, when was my first stream? One of the things you have to do when you're into this kind of stuff is keep an eye on what kind of people are watching. Know who the good people are and who the bad people are. And I know who the good people are. Matter of fact, lately I've been watching a lot of their videos and streams myself just to be reminded that there are still good people in this world. People like Logan, DJ. Might check out some more stuff by Tyler, aka Multimedia Lucario. Is that his name? Yeah, it's been a while. But it's just, you know, you get so into this stuff that you start to sometimes overlook who's subscribing to you and who's watching your videos. And you realize these people are running, some of these people are running channels too, and it's really cool, some of the stuff that they're doing. Although I think in the case of, there's a bit of an interest difference between myself, and I'm not as into Nintendo as Logan is. Not anymore anyways. I'm actually stuck right now waiting for this upgraded Nintendo Switch to come out before I think about getting a Nintendo Switch and getting back into Mario stuff. So, let's see, who's this guy? Yeah, Tyler, that's right. Yep. He does a decent job. Well, he has the popular uploads first, so that helps promote them a bit better, whereas mine are on the bottom. So it's but yeah, he does videos once every so often, but both him and Logan have similar things going on with their channels where they're a lot more restricted in what they do. And so it plays more into this corporate thing that YouTube has, where YouTube, well, here's the stupid part. I don't know how many of you people have ever heard of AstroTurf. AstroTurf is fake grass. So when you're talking about AstroTurf activity with businesses, you're talking about people who look like individuals, but in reality, they're under the sway of a corporation. Like, think like guerrilla marketing or something like that. How about, for example, when independent reviews on YouTube became a thing, and then people were getting outed as having been secretly paid by companies to make YouTube videos about products. And that led to YouTube putting that thing in where you have to declare if you have a paid promotion going on or something like that. So there's that, but it's also in federal law here in the United States as well. But it's just the thing where, you know, you got to watch out for people that look like individuals, but really they're caught up in corporate crap and they may not even know it. Now, I mean, the AstroTurf that I'm talking about that you see in the media and stuff like that is actual corporate campaigns. Like, for example, when broadband companies create a fake interest group and they fund it to oppose municipal broadband, which would compete with overpriced broadband in the United States. And then maybe the law doesn't pass and suddenly the website disappears overnight, the group disappears overnight. It's like the group never existed because the company just wanted to have a front group to pretend that people were interested in their side of the story until, of course, it didn't work out. Fake grassroots, AstroTurf. In today's world of YouTube, when people toe the corporate line and troll you about it, they're in the same boat. So the people that may try to pressure me or pressure Logan, or pressure DJ, or pressure Tyler, or pressure even anybody into trying to have a one-trick pony YouTube channel, I got news for you. That's the corporate brand channel stuff that today's YouTube would want. But YouTube has been successful because of people and individuals and the way people treat each other. In the early days of YouTube, it was basically the video wing of social media. When MySpace was the dominant social media before Facebook took over, you had text posts and some pictures there. But in terms of making videos, you'd go to YouTube for that. Maybe there were more people out there like me when we first saw some YouTube videos for the first time in the mid-2000s when the website first started, back when it was a website instead of this huge conglomerate platform. When YouTube started, I was actually calling them YouTubes. I wrote a MySpace blog entry at the time, and it said, my favorite YouTubes, and I showed the cat wheel video and some of the viral videos that popped up whenever I went to YouTube and stuff. Then I found out about YouTubers, then I became a YouTuber myself, and surprisingly, despite being nowhere near as popular as many of the people that I watched, people showed up. They commented, they gave 5-star ratings. There's no like system yet. There was stars and stuff. The people that show up, they like what I did, they 5-star what I did, they'd comment. It was just a fun community around this unique hobby of YouTubing, something you had to explain a little longer to your boomer parents, stuff like that. Like, why would you want to make, who wants to watch videos of you sitting there talking about things? More people than you realize, old timer. So I have a YouTube page open here. What was I looking up? We'll let it sit for now. So, and that's the people side of all of this that is kind of, we've gotten away from with all the, oh, iJustine, that's right. I want to see iJustine's media empire. I want to see iJustine's media empire. She has a channel with 6 million subscribers at the height of the iJustine empire or whatever. She had more channels to check out. So wait, Jenna? Oh, is that her sister or something? More channels to check out. All right, let me just see here. The Annoying Orange, Lizzie Velasquez, Lindsay Sterling. No, I know who Lindsay Sterling is. Okay, so we just don't have this kind of other iJustine channels. Like how about iJustine Gaming? Is that still a channel? Nope. How about iJustine Lifestyle? She had a separate, I think she had a separate vlog channel at one point. Yeah, because I remember the Archfiend made for, oh, there's other iJustine. I don't use this channel anymore, but check out the one that I do. Yeah, that was her secondary channel from way back in the day. Her last video, oh, puppy goes potty. Oh, she's linking her iJustine videos. She's linking her iJustine videos in a playlist on her alt channel for people that still go to that alt channel to go to her main channel by clicking on the videos. So yeah, she hasn't uploaded anything to it in 5 years. That was, yeah, that put it on screen. This is it. This is one of the remnants of the channels, the many channels that iJustine had that she was getting made fun of for about 10 years ago. iJustine Vlogs. This was her vlog channel. There you go. She used to have a channel for literally everything that she did. iJustine Vlogs, iJustine Gaming, this, that, the other, and people were laughing about it. Like, how many channels do you need? And of course, in today's world, with the guidance that YouTube gives creators nowadays, they say, yeah, put it all in one channel, you know? And in the case of the way you don't want to divide and conquer, if you're going for things like the YouTube milestones for YouTube partnership or something, so you might as well have everything on one channel. And YouTube actually has enough robustness within channels so that you can have multiple types of content these days. Like what I did today. Some of you folks probably didn't notice, and that's why it's only gotten 10 views, but this is partially by design. Today, I expanded into the TikTok era by converting some of my videos into YouTube Shorts to send around the YouTube Short Circuit. YouTube Short Circuit. I'm not so sure that's a good way to describe it, but I actually made some YouTube Shorts, and these YouTube Shorts actually, they're based on stuff I've done, like the Duke Nukem Forever Processors joke song, and also that time I turned on Tuxedo and the power supply blew up. So I figured, you know what, since they're basically TikTok videos, might as well see how they do on TikTok as well. Although TikTok is just going to be a mirror as I compare how YouTube progresses versus TikTok in terms of the way TikTok operates. I haven't been too thrilled about TikTok because I've watched some TikTok videos on my phone, and also can Android emulate them to put them on the big screen, or go to, you know, TikTok's website and just watch that way. But if I want the actual mobile experience on the big screen, I can fire up BlueStacks for that. But TikTok, it's a great place to go viral. And some of the content on TikTok is just brain dead. It's just like, ah, oh, really? Yeah, I'm groaning as I'm laughing at it because it's still funny. But it's funny in the dumbest way possible. But it entertains people. There's plenty of, for example, comedy out there that is really stupid if you think about what these comedians are saying. But it's just part of the act. It's part of how they do what it is that they do. So to find this kind of comedy over on TikTok does not surprise me one bit. No, not in the slightest. Cool. We're not getting concurrence tonight. Cool. Guess I didn't make it schadenfreudy enough for the people that just want to see me complain. Good. Because what I want for this channel and what I want for everything that I do here is a constructive, supportive audience, which I don't have. Let's be blunt. I don't have a constructive, supportive audience. There's the good people I've mentioned earlier. Then there's people that watch the tech videos who vanish whenever I do even the tiniest bit of things different. I can still do technology, but if it's not tinkering with the same computers over and over again, they are out the door. And then there's the general public, which is where I think most of the ad blocking comes from. So people that don't really know or care about me as a creator or my channel or anything, that are just going to treat me the same way they treat a Paul's Hardware or a Jay's 2 Cents or something. But all things being considered, the smaller channels get hurt by things like that more than the big channels do. I mean, if you have tons of sponsorships because of your views and stuff on YouTube, and then you have a lot of other income streams besides ad revenue, then you're not as hurt by your videos getting ad blocked to death as somebody where the difference between making like $30 a month in ad revenue or $70 a month in ad revenue determines whether you get to make a YouTube video without spending your own money on about something like a graphics card upgrade or some kind of tech something or another. Or in my case, one of the things I've earmarked the revenue from the channel to be used for is stuff that makes 0 sense for me to do on my own. So that, in a sense, is throttled by support or lack thereof. There have been some tech videos that exist because of Patreon subscribers. Like, for example, a lot of the Delosaurus Rex project was like that. But it's not going to come from ad revenue. The tech videos have never pulled their weight in advertising dollars, despite having higher CPMs. It was that way for years. I mean, the tech videos should be flying high. It's something where you want people who have disposable income to buy a device or a computer upgrade or something like that. It's very valuable. It can be used to help sell stuff. And yet it got ad blocked so much that the CPMs being higher never made a difference until the YouTube system course corrected and the CPMs crashed. So with my current environment right now and what I'm dealing with, I basically have to pretend to be a dude version of Martha Stewart and do appliance videos and deliberately try to bore away the tech people because they'll ad block stuff to death. I have to bore the living daylights out of them and get them to stop watching before I have any chance of even bankrolling the channel properly in terms of raising funds from a mainstream, not so really interested MultimediaJay audience. But hey, can you answer this question about this vacuum cleaner you made a video about or something like that? I get that in the comments. But and sometimes people in the comments will answer it if I don't get to it. So somebody like, hey, I have one of these things too. I mean, it's just one of those things you see on some of these like home style, how-to style kind of channels. I'm actually thinking of converting the appliance videos over to how-to style for a category instead of science and technology, because that's really the audience that likes them. But it's not an audience that really has any real loyalty to, oh, they like MultimediaJay, they want to see more tech tinkering. That's the tech people you're thinking of. So it's very different people with very different behaviors. But because of the prevalence of ad blockers, YouTube systems have come down hard, especially in the last 2 months, on nearly everything on the channel. So it's just, how do I proceed with this? That's the thing. Because, like I've mentioned, and I'll mention it again, the people that don't understand this internet video stuff think people like me are insane, that we're millennials who won't apply ourselves. Because I could make more money in the short term, at least, getting a second job. Even if it was minimum wage, Subway sandwich artists, like 5 hours a week or something, part-time, could still make more than what a lot of YouTube ad revenue has been. And that's one of the reasons why I applaud YouTube's attempts to move beyond advertising revenue. But with things like channel memberships and supers, another scalable source of revenue that the bean counters at YouTube can, be like, hey, that's cool. Because that's what they do all day, is accounting and balance sheets and looking at, numbers and money. And how do they do that? I don't know. So that's one of the reasons why. But what I'm worried about is a rough transition, so to speak. So everything crashes really hard for many creators, disheartens the heck out of them, negatively affects the content they produce and how often they make it. As YouTube transitions from focusing heavily on advertising, which led to things like demonetization and all the complaints people have, to alternatives to ad revenue, to the point where when the YouTube help file tells you turn off ads for this content, you as a creator are like, okay, whatever, a few less quarters at the end of the month because ad revenue is so pitiful. But if that's what it takes to stay compliant with the terms of service of the partner program and not lose access to channel memberships and supers and stuff, then so be it. And I would actually welcome that, because advertising revenue just dictates way too much on this platform, and it is messed with even some series I enjoy, like James Rolfe, the BS series that he has. He had to change the title because you get demonetized, which means you lose your ad revenue, if you swear too strongly too soon in the video. And certain really strong swears anywhere in the video can get you demonetized. But the whole demonetization thing is all about advertiser friendliness. So if YouTube finds a way for audiences to support creators without having to depend on advertising as much, it'll be less of a bitter pill to swallow for channels to shut the ads off. Because, I shouldn't put ads on it. And it would make all the sense in the world from a business perspective. If I'm, for example, let's suppose I'm the company that owns the rights to Huggies diapers. Yeah, so I'm the company, what is it, Kimberly-Clark or something? We live in the age of Google. Why don't we look it up? Who owns Huggies diapers? There's a lot of consolidation in most stuff that is in this. Kimberly-Clark. Did I guess correctly? I don't know. All right, so I'm a brand manager at Kimberly-Clark who wants advertisements for Huggies diapers to appear on YouTube videos. I find out that it's a bunch of single folks living in their early 20s with no kids, playing Call of Duty all day, every day, no girlfriends, no nothing, zero use for my products whatsoever because they don't have kids. That's where the ads are showing up. Of course I'd be annoyed by it. So, if you think about the business side of it and just everybody trying to do their jobs, give people the benefit of the doubt, it makes all the sense in the world that ScroogeTube is what it is. But I definitely can say with regards to this, yeah, YouTube needs to move beyond all of this. The sooner the better. I just hope the transition isn't too rough. I hope we don't have creators quitting the platform over this because YouTube shut me off. I don't get ad revenue anymore. I have to go back to working at Wendy's. See ya. It's something I can very easily imagine. But it's sometimes just the way the cookies crumble with this crap. So, anyways, can we get back to, the title, accept YouTubers for who they are? Understand, as a viewer, myself included when I watch other folks, that this is a person who has to put up with a lot of crap. And if they're a live streamer, it's even worse. Live streaming is the wonderful land of somebody changes their profile picture on a sock puppet account. Well, Pokimane had an unban request that she put up on Twitter the other day. And I looked and I saw that it was really disgusting. And she's like, look at these people. And I'm like, it's probably some idiot who made a sock puppet account because they knew they'd trigger you and you'd do something like this. And now they're laughing at it. That was what I worded it differently, though. But that's what I was thinking. I think someone out there wanted Pokimane to try to publicly embarrass them so they can laugh, they can laugh at the fact that she posted the picture on Twitter. But between all the live stream specific pranks that have been a thing, it's even worse the minute you get into live streaming. That's why, I think that live streaming combined with videos is a better setup, like what YouTube and Facebook have, than what Twitch does. Twitch emphasizes live streaming too much, and it's not just because of their it is because of their business decisions. So you have an environment where people get astroturfed, so to speak, into thinking that being a big streamer is the way to go. And then you have hybrid platforms like YouTube and Facebook, which will prove them wrong in the coming years. But in a sense, Twitch streamers are forced into grinding because that's all their platform's good at. Video support on Twitch? Ha 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 ha. Rubbish. Searchability on Twitch with a search engine? Ha 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 ha. Rubbish. Why don't we go over there? Why don't we just go there in this Firefox browser? Twitch.tv, and the tab's muted, right? Now it is. I don't want some... Oh, fan-controlled football is on. Woo! How to play League of Legends. To play League of Legends. Been trying to find... Ninja's playing League of Legends right now, so I got live channels, and we got joked videos and VODs in the search results. So Yeah, Twitch's search engine is still a joke. It's crude though, so you could use like vertical titles and stuff like that in order to vertical titles and things along those lines. You could do something like that, but at the same time, then yeah. So yeah, it's just Twitch isn't good at video, and that's their weakness. It's going to become more of a weakness in the coming years as more people wake up to the fact that, you know, stream grinding is garbage. Now, all it takes is YouTube getting a little more competent at streaming, and Twitch is in very, very serious trouble when people figure out what's going on. So when commentators start to figure this out, when people like me start to figure this out and call this out for what it is, and we're saying, hey, look, you may have wanted to be the next ninja 3 years ago, and you've been grinding on Twitch for 3 years, but where has it gotten you with your 10 concurrents? Or whatever as a Twitch affiliate. So, something I see, you know, a lot of the angriest people that I see on Twitter, people talk about streamer Twitter and what a mess that is. A lot of the angriest people that I see on Twitter are all Twitch affiliates who've barely gotten anywhere after hours a day for several days a week for years. It's nuts. It really is. All right. I have a bunch of Sully Gnomes open because one of the things I do want to mention, though, is I mentioned earlier, part of what you do is with this type of stuff is keep an eye on what kind of people are watching. And this is why I say what I say about having a bad audience. It's possible to have a bad audience. You'll have some good people, but if most of the people you watch who watch you are unsupportive, that's when you take action based on it, no matter who it upsets. So I look at streams like 10 views, 20 views. 30 views seems to be a good number to go for, but 30 views was the off-topic number about a year or two ago. The gaming videos used to get that. But it's just the sort of thing where, and also with streams too, we have the thing where you just arrow around, maybe look for some interesting parts to watch. But unless you have a lot of time on your hands, I don't know if you want to watch a 3-hour stream replay every single time. That's perfectly understandable. That's why I'm tossing around the idea of making I want to make some kind of videos for Play Some Stuff, not just stream it all the time. Because you can put some stuff in there that says more of what I want to say in video formats, and then just have the streams really are kind of documentation of my progression in the MMOs. So maybe I want to go back, make some kind of video of it later. Still got the footage available. Maybe I should turn off the camera and just record that way, but I'll still have, you know, voiceover dialogue and things along those lines. You know, it was one of those deals right there. We're not going to get into a big discussion about what to do in streams and what not to do in streams, because I've certainly followed a ton of that on Twitter over the last couple of weeks. But so let's see here. The audience vanishes if I'm not doing the same old things over and over again. And yet, if I look at the wacky world of MultimediaJay, I can't see the view numbers with that sort of stuff. If I look at, for example, recent computer videos and things like that, those numbers have been declining too. So this is natural attrition. People just get bored with stuff and move on, or they lose accounts numbers or something like that. So they lose accounts and passwords, things like that, or something else happens, or, you know, people just go over time. So what matters is whether or not, I mean, you can tell me that I'll get more views by making computer videos all the time, but the general trend has been, even with making lots of computer videos, decline. So, and you have to ask yourself why. Part of this is the platform. Part of what these platforms need to do is help creators not attrition too much, because if it looks like nothing you do matters anymore, it starts affecting you. That affects your content, and the cycle just gets worse and worse until it eventually degrades the content in general in an entire genre. So, you have, for example, in the tech sector, you have with tech videos on YouTube, you have Linus Tech Tips. Linus has been known for being formulaic and overproduced for years. People know where to go if they want to see the nice, happy, slappy, clappy, whatever you want to call it, super well-produced videos, 5-minute videos about technology. People like Linus, Austin Evans, other people who've taken, you know, hints from that format, and they play the algorithm game by pastiching Linus. But for the people that want to be gritty and rough and maybe not make super produced videos and things like that, where's the audience, and where has it gone, and how supportive are they? That's the thing. By supportive, you got to feel like you're not wasting your time with this stuff. It's the only way you continue. One of the biggest things with content creation in general is you don't really stick to what you're not happy with. It's just the way it is. If you, especially if you're a small creator part-time, you work a job, which is something you don't want to do, but you do in order to pay the bills. If YouTube deteriorates to that, what's the point? Stop everything. Go have some fun. Stop fighting what's happening and go get a second job if you want money. No. You don't have anything to lose. If YouTube isn't fun, you might as well just leave everything. Shut the whole channel down. Go get a second job. Because you're spending even more of your time doing stuff you don't really want to do or not feeling happy or whatever, but you're making less money because of it. If YouTube ever cranked their CPM business through the roof and made it so that it was more worth it to make YouTube videos than work a minimum wage job for like 5 hours a week or something, there would be a different story. But as it stands right now, YouTube has struggled, Google has struggled, and wrangled with this, just like every single other business going all the way back to the dot-com bubble and probably before that tried to support itself via internet advertising. It's just a thing that has always been a fight. Over and over and over again. There are services that are no more since the dot-com crash that were trying to support themselves with ads. Oh, we can make this free if someone puts up with an advertising banner while they use this service. Nope. And many of the problems of the 2000s with those dot-com services are the same way they are today. There are people that were trying to, for example, bypass the ads in the ad banner on Net Zero and stuff like that. And people are like, hey, don't do this. Da, 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 da. Well, the service went away. So, but that was dial-up for free. So I don't know if it would be really all that valuable nowadays. But something that YouTube has struggled with, something every company is going to struggle with over and over and over again. So either way, the reason why I want to talk about not having a supportive audience is not just the numbers on YouTube, it's the numbers on Twitch. So, I don't take months between my videos to go over to Twitch and get no concurrence, to get no crossover whatsoever. And in the worst cases, spend time streaming on Twitch, come back to YouTube, and I get comments that I've since deleted, but maybe I should have kept them around, acting like I'd stopped making videos and acting like I'd vanished off the face of the planet. Oh, Jay's back. I never was gone. You just didn't like what I was doing for 5 months. Enough is enough already. But let me show you the smoking gun evidence to all of this. Switch off. We got a couple of Sully Gnomes open. Let's see. We got a couple of Sully Gnomes that are open. Let's link them up. Browser. Let's link up Avast Secure for this one. Here's a couple of Sully Gnomes for YouTubers who went over to Twitch. And what every single one of them has in common is that they had some kind of audience conversion. Here's Joanne, the Joanne Tech Lover from Newegg TV back in the day, goes over and has some concurrence. She doesn't start from square one. Yeah, it drops off a bit, takes a break, and and then like 20, 30, 40 concurrence, etc. Largely streaming Stardew Valley these days. She didn't start from square one. She had an audience conversion. Reckless Eating before the ban. Decent amount of stuff going on. Bragged about how Twitch was better than YouTube with that respect in terms of growth. Prior to the ban, didn't start from square one. Audience conversion. Chris Perillo, sporadically streaming over the span of years, but let's see, this is the closest, like 4, 3. That's enough to be a Twitch affiliate. But getting concurrence the whole way through, that's an audience conversion. Zaran Izarak had a lucky raid at one point. I think this is that one time when he got raided by a big Fortnite streamer that he talked about in one of his videos. You see, though, the little audience conversion he had coming over from YouTube still gave him like 10 concurrence or something like that. Sometimes 20, sometimes 30, things like that. This, by the way, is the chart that just shows Twitch not helping people grow. Look how he's stuck there, except for that one lucky Fortnite raid. Just look at that. I mean, Jay's 2 cents. Barely has streamed at all, but has had concurrence the whole way through. Paul's Hardware, same story. Barely a stream. And then Linus, of course, we can go back and say, what's this one that's really low? Oh, there's a Zero Viewer one where it crashed to 0, bumped up from 0. Maybe it was a technical issue. But this is the litmus test, and this tells me everything that I need to know about what the state of my channel was a year ago when I started doing stuff on Twitch. You have all of these YouTubers who went over to Twitch. They all had audience conversion. They didn't start from square one. Me, couldn't even get Twitch affiliate for over 6 months. That says everything that I need to know about the audience. Well, you shouldn't say stuff like that. It's the truth. If you don't like what I have to say, find somebody who will lie to you to keep you happy, because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for someone who doesn't want to tell you the truth. You know, I've known there's toxicity with regards to tech and gaming, especially tech, but some of it's in gaming as well. It's one of the reasons why Twitch has been known for some bad stuff in the last several years. Gaming, of course, there's what happens on Xbox Live, all kinds of other stuff like that. So I know there's toxicity out there. The question is when to know when you have it. And I can say that, especially when I look back in my offline archives at some of the complaint videos and vlogs I used to do a couple of years ago, there was probably a chunk of the audience that just want to see me upset all the time. Classic Schadenfreude. Oh, complaining about the 9 to 5 again. Let's watch this one. And that's not what I want for this channel. None of this is what I want for this channel. Not an environment where everybody vanishes if I'm not tinkering with the same old computers over and over again and syncing my channel that way. Plus, it's not fair to the people that have come over, what few of them there are, because of Twitch. And the people that have come over because I've done videos about content creation. It's also not fair to the people where it looks like I'm starting something new on this channel that I don't follow through with it, or I keep coming back to these same old discussions over and over again because the numbers continue to be disappointing. I mean, what, stuck at 3,800 subs on YouTube for about 2 years now? Go up, go down, da-da-da-da-da-da. Enough is enough already. You know, there is an element that the platform is responsible for, but let the platform worry about that part of it. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for a constructive, supportive audience. I'm looking for more people like Logan, more people like Tyler, more people like DJ. I'm looking for more people who will actually like and enjoy the constructive stuff that I do, instead of just waiting for it. And I have parted ways with some people who've been watching my channel for years that were not part of this group. There were people that just wanted to complain all the time. There are people that just wanted Schadenfreude all the time. There are people that, you know, they were like a magnet. If things turned negative, they showed up. Well, prepare to be bored, because I'm going to be flipping things around a bit, and we're going to progress with content on the hardware side, and we're also going to progress with gaming stuff. There's going to be a lot of Elder Scrolls Online in the next week or two because of the Heroes Reforged event. And quite frankly, if you can't accept that I play ESO, unsubscribe from the channel. It's an interest I have. I mean, this would be like if I had a friend who was into a sport that I didn't like. Suppose, you know, I'm not really into tennis. Suppose I had a friend who watched Wimbledon every single time, or some kind of tennis tournament. And I may not like tennis in particular, but I value my friendship with that person. So, you know, there'll be times that I'd be watching tennis, trying to figure out the game for their sake, even if not my own. Or how about if I had a friend in Canada who is into curling? I can't even understand curling at all. Might watch it a few times, read the Wikipedia article, try to figure it out. Like, okay, what's curling? Why is it so important? Why are there parts of Canada that really, really like it? You know, try and understand where they're coming from. If I want to be a narcissist, I'll be like, I don't care about curling, whatever. So, no, you know, one of the things you got to realize in life is a lot of life isn't about you. You know, there'll be times in life where you have to do something for the team's sake, or for your friend's sake, or for your spouse's sake, or for your girlfriend's sake, or whatever. It's not always about you. But we've made an environment with smartphone culture and things like that, and the way the internet has evolved in the last year. We've made something along those lines. And we just have this sort of thing where I really don't know what to think of it, really. But it's not right. This whole environment we have where, we're just going to be snotty to each other, not something. I would much rather shut all the computers off and never do a video ever again. And have peace and quiet in the house, the neighborhood. Sometimes, you can actually see, what's going on with this kind of stuff and what you're missing. Take a time, shut the phone off, shut the computer off, shut the TV off, open the window and listen to the darn birds in the trees or something. And realize how much you're getting all wrapped up in the rat race to not just shut everything off and unwind and unplug. It's crazy. I've had plenty of opportunities to do that, but I spend a lot of time doing stuff on stream or doing stuff on videos. Maybe I do too much. I don't know. But this era where all anybody cares about is the tech videos needs to end sooner rather than later. Otherwise, I just will continue not emphasizing them. Because really, what exactly have the videos done but make my YouTube experience worse? What exactly has all this stuff done? I joined a platform where you could be yourself, where other people would accept you for who you are. And now I have an environment where there's absolutely goose egg for conversion when I go to give Twitch streaming a try last year. When I get Twitch affiliate, largely by playing games nobody else is playing, for people that are nostalgic for retro games that aren't represented on Twitch to show up and keep the concurrence above 3. That's it. And unlike those channels that I was just showing in Sully Gnome, who had conversion the whole way through, did not start from 0. There we go. There's some others who have this kind of experience as well. I've seen it on their channels too, and I wonder how they put up with it. Streaming to one viewer on Twitch, which could be them just running their dashboard. Twitch actually gives you credit for your operations, your streamer dashboard, and 1 copy of your streams. You get 2 concurrents just from that. Throw in your smartphone with the data plan and unsigned in browser to get 3 with a different IP address, and you got Twitch affiliate. Do that for a month. So a Twitch affiliate is next to useless as a program. It's more of a thing where someone starts to get even the tiniest bit of momentum. We want to lock them down with that monopoly contract. Totally different situation here. But either way, that's the way it is. Somewhere along the line, we forgot that the person on the other side of the TV screen or the computer screen or whatever, or the phone screen these days, is a human being just like the rest of us. The truth of the matter is, parasocial relationship or not, there is an element of social skills involved in being involved in these platforms. Just the way it is. So when it comes to the YouTube channel, I don't know what it's going to take to get to that place where people aren't vanishing if I change even the tiniest little thing, like what I had in the 2000s. It was a different type of people on YouTube back then. Different attitudes towards YouTube, different attitude towards YouTubers. Don't know if it can even come back. But I'll keep trying things here and there. Tried some stuff with YouTube Shorts. Do some more tinkering with that at least. But here's the thing. If anybody wants to believe that they've won and I've lost and I've failed on YouTube, realize this. The only way you fail on these platforms is by quitting. Otherwise, if you have nothing to lose, you can try pretty much anything you want. So the people that may think that I will feel backed into a corner with declining views and stuff, and even the tech videos being the way they are these days, all that does just pushes me back towards the start of everything. It just puts me back towards, hey, I don't have to worry about whether or not people are going to like what happened to the tech videos or whatnot, because there's less people in general to still be affected by that. What happens when the tech videos sink to the point where something else overtakes them? This might be what some of the help documents are talking about with regards to pivoting your channel, as some of the YouTube stuff calls it. But by and large, whether you're making stuff or watching stuff, you have something to gain by accepting YouTubers for who they are. And that is more stuff you want to watch. Because I've seen I've seen people I used to watch and enjoy on a very regular basis vanish, doing things like video game commentaries and stuff like that, because they just got sick of all the mess that was going on. It was a mixture of the people mess on their channel and the platform mess with YouTube in general. And don't finger point Susan Wojcicki for this either. She's part of the problem in some cases, but not the problem. You can never, it's too simple-minded. Just like how the technology can only be one part of the problem, and the people can only be one part of the problem. They blend together in some ways, and they complement each other and cause more mayhem and more troubles and things along those lines. So, you have all of that going on. But by and large, accept YouTubers for who they are, and what they choose to do. There have been people who've done a nice, polite goodbye video, and I was very upset to see them leave. I was like, what? They had a really good series going. I like that. But it's their life. It's their decision. And don't spend the rest of your life picking apart everything they did and criticizing them on every forum in existence because they decided to stop some series that you really liked. Just the way it is. Anyways, we're going to get some ESO, and there's going to be a heavy focus on ESO with this event that's going on, because it's a time-limited event, and I want all my characters to make some progress with this new system. Whether it's YouTube, Twitch, or some combination of the two, to be determined. I mean, Twitch didn't exactly impress me with the whole George Not Found incident today. They didn't really impress me all that much with how guy made an alt account called I Am George Not Found, indefinitely suspended for an inappropriate username. And people wonder why I view Twitch as a sidecar. And I do a very limited gaming channel over there. Yeah, it needs to be milquetoast. You can never tell from day to day what Twitch is going to have some mood swing on and kick people off the platform. I'm curious. Oh, and by the way, this is over the weekend, so there's plenty of time for whoever did the George Not Found thing to be embarrassed about it, before everyone comes back to working remotely, the office, whatever, to deal with that kind of stuff. Just crazy. So either way, all right, we're gonna move forward with this kind of stuff and just chill, because you know what, there is some things people tell me that I think a lot about and actually am bothered by. Some people tell me that I'm a walking encyclopedia, that I'm really good at getting people's gears turning, getting people to think about what I say, and I know a lot of stuff, but I don't want it to just be all about that. Then there's other folks, you know, that correctly point out that I don't seem to be able to just chill and have fun. Do stuff that doesn't really make very much sense. Maybe I should watch more TikTok videos then, because there's certainly a lot of random, mindless fluff that's entertaining and funny, and don't overthink it, but it's funny. Plenty of that stuff going on. But by the way, I'll be looking for feedback on the community tab posts for the YouTube Shorts videos that get posted there, for what kind of key moments also in everything we've done on here to send over to the short circuit, so to speak. I'm going to have a hard time not calling it the short circuit after tonight. But yeah, YouTube Shorts. Just take up to a minute, convert it into a vertical format, send it around the circuit. It's really cool, you know, that you can just swipe and see different videos and sub on the spot. That's part of what I'm doing next. I'm going to compare YouTube Shorts to TikTok and see how YouTube wanders into this space, see how they do with it. We shall see. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.